Execution.
How do you think Christian did? And
Okay.
What did he do?
Not a lot. I kept him. He did some, and because I didn't want to take a chance on limiting it, but what he did and what we're doing, he feels very good about. And he took some reps, did some things, but limited what he did as far as numbers of true throws. But Cole, reads, did all those zones, and then some throws and did some things, but not. I didn't want to the day after, but he'll be. I think he'll feel good. I really do.
Jimbo, how far in advance of the game do you think you'll be able to make a decision about who starts?
I don't know. Based off, see how tomorrow goes too. You know what I mean? What goes on, we'll see how tomorrow goes. But I expect that it'll even be better. I really do. He was very good. I mean, there's hardly nothing in there now. So
could this still go to Saturday before you finally decide?
To say, if I said that, if I couldn't say either way. So yes, to answer your question, yes, it could.
So you just call us? You just call us tomorrow?
I wait to know. Just wait and see.
Were the decision of not throwing much, is that totally you or the doctors, or is that?
No, I mean they'll make the thing, and I'll make the final call. I mean they can say guys out.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, medically you'd never go against that, but they haven't done that, and then they know they won't because it can there. But we'll make a judgment call as we go.
It's more of a discomfort thing, or
well, it is, but it can be something that can it just. But how they feel about tomorrow. I mean, if it takes another thing, it could just get something that you let 1 week turn into 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So we have to judge it as we go.
Jimbo, based on what EJ's done in practice this week so far, if that had to be the case, would you do you feel good about?
Oh yeah, very
him the
comfortable.
way
I mean, we
he's
just
practiced?
and the same. I mean, we didn't change a bit. We doing exactly the same things he's been doing.
But has he practiced well enough to play? If he
Yeah, I thought he really did. I thought I practiced well. I really did. Like I said, I had good practices, very good practices.
How much does rest help Christian's situation, or does?
It does. It does a lot. I mean, for any injury, you know what I'm saying. I mean, that's as good as anything. You know what I'm saying. And you see it all. Heck, like now in the NFL, you watch it. If you really evaluate a lot of the quarterbacks, they probably practice about 1 day a week. I mean, the guys, once they start getting banged and bruised, and they're already in the rhythm this late in the year, what they're doing and throwing and reading. I mean, you know what I mean? Most of those, a lot of those guys, they physically can't go through a whole week's practice. I know the running backs can.
But is it the kind of thing where if he played this week and got hit or something, it could re-aggravate it to a point?
I think that could be something the rest of the year. I think that could be somewhere that could be the rest of the year. I mean, but if you rested it more, it couldn't be, it may be more. But yes, most definitely.
Is it not imperative with him? Is it imperative that he's getting throws? I mean, he's
no,
a 50-year senior.
It depends on each person.
Right.
I've been around 50-year guys that have to take reps.
Right.
I've been around guys who sometimes the more reps they take, the worse they get every now and then. Some guys, can have 1 or 2 days and play well. Like I said before, I remember for a whole year, Jamarcus would practice 1 day a week and had an exceptional year and threw for 66% or something his sophomore year. You know what I mean? And had a really good year. It just depends on the individual about how many reps he can take. But he's a guy, I've watched him that, when he doesn't have reps, Rowe's like that. Rowe, like I said before, he took it, but there was a couple weeks. He might have one day, he was like that. Didn't have to take a lot of reps when he could come out there and play. Guys are really competitive. Sometimes, if there's one common trait in that, it's guys that are, I don't say everybody's not competitive, but I mean those guys that are really, really tough, for some reason, seem to be able to fight through that and not be able to have to take as many reps.
Right.
That's the one common of quarterbacks I've ever had that could do that.
If Christian can't go, who would be EJ's backup?
Secord.
Do the kids seem to care at all? I mean, who's in?
Oh yeah, I mean they love both of them. I mean both guys are carried in very high esteem by their teammates because as I've said this before, they're both very similar type people as far as their core values and what the team thinks of. You know what I mean? Of course, they all want to see Christian play because they know it's a senior year and he's playing well and he's led us and we winning and they understand all the things he does that, as I talk about all the time, that you don't see in a box score. You guys don't see, the fans don't see, people don't see, the critics don't see of what goes on in the inner workings of how he helps them. You know what I'm saying? And the leadership and things that go on. But they also have utmost confidence in EJ because EJ prepares, he carries himself, and by the way, he handles all these situations. So that's why people worry about it. The thing EJ understands is the big picture of leadership, and that's why I think he's going to be a very special player in his time too, because he ain't the complainer, he ain't the guy who wants to transfer. He hadn't, you know what I mean? He has all the great qualities and understands that. So I think both of them, from that standpoint, they'll follow well. But I mean, and to say they don't care, I think they care, but they understand they can be successful with both.
Any other injuries or anything else that stands out?
I'm trying to think without making a mistake. No one got banged up the last few days. I mean, no, should be about the same as they were.
Harley, see.
No, he's leg, he's growing and all that, so he won't be available. And go from there. Those groins and muscles and hamstrings, boy. Well, you know, I think Hagen's pulled a hamstring the other day again, but he's been on that. You've known that he's been banged up with a hamstring for a while. He keeps aggravating it.
Coach, the other issue you talked about the other day about some issues that you would have addressed, whether the team was 8-1 or 6-3, maybe some guys in the secondary freelancing a little bit. And
I don't say that freelance. I say just
leaving the zone.
Yeah, just
stuff
like trying to jump and make a play and
did
general team things.
Did those things get better this week?
Yeah, I think so. I think we understood, and like I said before, I think sometimes when you have failure, you pay attention to them more than when you have success. But just generally trying to play for 60 minutes, the focus, the concentration. I mean, things that you harp on a day in, day out basis. You know what I'm saying? And when you have young players, those are things that occur every now and then. We just got to keep getting them fixed. As you look across this country, you watch how everybody plays. It's amazing, the teams that nobody can play with that consistency. I mean, and it's like the way every year. I mean, you have it every team in the country. You see it. I mean, it's just 18 to 23-year-old males and trying to get them to focus consistently and understand the importance of every situation.
Well, a month ago they were getting ready to just give Nick the second trophy.
Well, exactly right. And see, I've talked. I mean, he says listen to him. Sounds a lot like the things that that team. I mean. And people anointed him, but they had never accomplished it. And you had a lot of young guys who had never went through that and done that. And you get back here and he's playing with a lot of freshmen. So, I mean, like we are. I mean, and it's hard for those guys to understand for 12 weeks to do it. Now, it's not an excuse. That's by coaching. That's called team, and that's those special years. But there's a reason that Joe Paterno won 400 games and won 2 national championships.
Yeah.
Bobby Bowden won 390 games. And won 2 national championships. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the point I'm making is you're up there great, but I mean to win it all and do it all and keep that focus and concentration. I mean that's a challenge. Mike Krzyzewski's fixing to break all the records in basketball, right? He's won 4 national championships. I mean that's a lot, but in 30 years, boy, he's a bad coach. He has 26. I mean, according to society. And the point I'm making is it's just that kids, you get them to focus and you got to have that magical time. And that's the battle in life. And my challenge to the people who say that, tell them their own kids. It's what you fight with your own kids every day. Doing homework, huh?
Glad I don't have
That you know about.
any. Yeah.
But that's what we got to do. It's all focus issues. And then, all your problems, when you go back to that, focus and execution. Because focus allows for detail.
If you had to ballpark it, how many throws did Christian, how many passes do you think he threw today?
That'd be a bad question. Because I was with special teams a lot, and on the defense time, I didn't, to say individual or team, I told you, I'd tell you a lie. Because I was, watching the defense part of practice with special teams while they're doing individual drills and one-on-one, doing all that stuff. So
Obviously, throwing wasn't an important ingredient today for him.
no, it was just get back in the throwing and mental reps and get back in that groove and doing that. So I think rest is the biggest thing for him and that. I told you, I'd tell you a lie.
How's Dustin doing right now?
Great.
Is he?
He really has. I mean, very strong kid and very, very, very strong. He kicked very well this week. Kicked off well. He always field goals and kicked very well.